We just had an adventurous after canning time. So I ended up, Mom filmed the very last clip you just saw of us taking the cans out, well, of her taking the cans out, because when we went for our walk this morning that we always take Lambeau on in the morning, just around our neighborhood, we got about halfway through the walk and I noticed he kept like wiping at his face, and so I stopped to look at him and his right eye was swollen. Not crazy swollen, but it was still swollen. And I'm like, oh no, did you get into something? Did something sting you? So we finish our walk, we come home, and I'm looking, and it's not looking like it's getting worse, but I took pictures. So here's the picture of his left eye, or his right eye. And we're like, okay, we're gonna keep an eye on it, because if it just goes down and goes away, then we're good, but like, we're keeping an eye on it. And then a little while later, I'm petting him, because I'm trying to convince him, stop scratching at it and all that stuff, or rubbing his eye and things, and I go to touch his muzzle, and I can tell that his whole muzzle is swollen too, and it's just kind of hard to see because he has his mustache there. So I go to try to like look in his mouth, and I'm lifting up his lips really carefully. It's definitely swollen. It was too sore. He wouldn't let me open his mouth. I called the vet, because then again, I looked around at about noon. I looked, and his left eye was just barely starting to swell. And I mean, throughout all this, I was watching, making sure he was still breathing fine. He was acting totally normal. So I call the vet and I leave a message letting them know what's up. And they call me back because they had closed for an hour for lunch. So they call me back when they opened at 1. And they were like, hey, like, I talked to the doctor. Like, how soon can you come in? Like, what's your earliest availability? I'm like, I can walk there in 10 minutes. And they're like, awesome, we'll see you there. So Lambeau and we had to leave Mom to finish taking the cans out of the canner and stuff, because Lambeau and I had to walk to the vet. So they looked at him, vitals, everything is totally fine for him. It was just, the doctor was like, yep, he's having an allergic reaction to something, but we don't know what it is, because, I mean, like, I didn't see him get stung. He didn't act like he got stung. I just started noticing that he was scratching, and suddenly his eye was swollen. And like, we took the exact same route we always take. Nothing had changed in the house that would cause that. And so the only thing I can guess is that he got stung by something while we were outside, and he just didn't react to it. And so the doctor gave him a couple shots. I have to keep him on Benadryl for 2 days, but poor puppy. Can we see your handsome little face? Yeah, you don't look super swollen. Oh yeah, your eye already has come down significantly. It still looks just a little bit swollen, huh? What a poor puppy. How does your other eye look? Can I see? Oh yeah, that's a little bit swollen too, huh, puppy? Yeah. I won't mess with your mouth, because I know that's the most swollen part, huh? But yeah, most of this is mustache, but some of that is definitely swelling, huh? Poor puppy, but he got home, he got to have his lunch, it was delicious, and now he's in the air conditioning, and the cats are so relieved. But doctor said he'll be fine. We'll just do the Benadryl for 2 days, it should go away, and then we'll be good to go. But that was, needless to say, a fun little stressful adventure. All right, it is a few days later now. Lambeau was doing really well with getting the Benadryl down and getting like all of the swelling going down. And so he was on Benadryl for probably like 24 hours, and then all the swelling was basically gone, and he seemed totally fine. So I didn't I didn't give it to him for a full another day. And I'm thinking I probably should have, because today he was rubbing his face on the carpet, and I looked, and his eyes were totally fine, but it looked like his muzzle was just a little bit swollen. So I started him on Benadryl again today, and he really, really wants to play fetch, and I'm not playing fetch with him because running around like that is just aggravating the swelling, puppy. So I'm going to do it the full 2 days now, regardless of if it looks like he's completely fine or not after tomorrow, just to be on the safe side. That's the update. He seems like he's doing fine. Like right now, he is like Oh, he laid down as soon as I put the camera on him, of course. He was, like, dribbling the tennis ball. Oh, yeah, and there he goes running all over again. He seems to be in good spirits. He was this morning, right before I gave him that first Benadryl again. He was very cuddly and very just like he did not feel good. And it took me a little bit to figure out why he did not feel good, because his mustache hides any, like, muzzle swelling, so I didn't see it at first until I saw him messing with his mouth, and then I moved his hair around and looked. So, I very strongly contemplated shaving his mustache off today, just so I could make sure I could see everything really well, but he's letting me look at his mouth and in his mouth and around his mouth really easily. Like, he's allowing me to do that. He's not trying to nip. It's not too sore that it hurts him. So that's good. So I'm gonna hold off on shaving his mouth if I can, because I love his mustache and I don't want to take it off. But if I'm having issues with him still swelling, I'm gonna shave it off. So we'll see how it goes. My mom went home. She went home on Wednesday. Well, she went back to Flo's on Wednesday. She went home on Thursday. So that was a really good trip. She helped us clean out our fridge and just, like, clean it and all of that. And we went to Walmart and got some stuff that we needed to. And she'll be back again the end of September. There's a women's conference that Flo's church is having. So we're going to be going to that, and with COVID stuff getting a lot worse in areas, I know in Illinois the mask mandate was just reinstituted, so that if you go out, you have to wear a mask into, like, any store and everything that you go to, which it was lifted for a bit. And in Indiana here, it's been lifted for months. Like, there's been basically no stores have mask signs at all, and if it is a mask sign, it says that it's recommended, or if you are not vaccinated, you should wear a mask. I'm thinking there's a very high possibility that it's going to be reinstituted, that it's required, whether you're vaccinated or not, to wear a mask. So we're thinking with this women's conference, it was supposed to be in Indianapolis in person, everybody go to the same, like, big church together. And with the way that the COVID numbers are rising, we're pretty sure it's going to be you meet in your own local small church and you live stream the event. I think that's what's going to end up happening, which is a little bit of a bummer because it's always fun to be with people, but again, we don't want those numbers to get very high, so it makes sense. All right, one more quick update just before I end this vlog, because I just finished editing all of the footage of me explaining Lambeau and his, like, getting the reaction and swelling and stuff, and I don't think I, like, made it clear enough in the videos, but, like, I was talking to the vet throughout this. Like, I mentioned, like, I talk all about all of this stuff, and, like, in the very beginning, I did not call the vet immediately, because I was watching it. I knew if there was something that I needed to react quickly, the vet was a 5-minute walk. I say 10 minutes in the video. When we actually walked there, it was 5 minutes away. I could easily get him to the vet very quickly. So that's why I did not call the vet immediately when I started noticing the swelling, and we just kept an eye on it and we watched it, and I took the pictures for reference so I could show the vet. And by the time I did take him into the vet and I showed them the pictures, like, side by side compared to, like, him at that moment, the swelling had already started to go down a little bit, which was really, really good. Also then, like, when the swelling started up again, I called the vet. I double checked the prescription to make sure that I was, giving him enough and doing everything correctly, and they just recommended that I put him on it again for another 2 days. I wanted to pop in and make this video clip quick because when I was editing it, it even sounded like to me that I was not consulting the vet enough, when I know in real life, like, yeah, I was talking to a vet. I made sure I was giving him the right dosages. So I wanted to pop in, let you know, you don't have to freak out. You don't have to go into the comments and be like, Julie, you're a horrible dog owner. How dare you not, like, rush him to the vet immediately, crying and freaking out. Like, it's okay. But yeah, he's doing fine. Just gonna keep him on the Benadryl for the next 2 days and make sure that he is, well, the next day, and make sure that he is totally fine.